Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Here with the ETH count there isn't really any change. We continue to be focused here at the moment on the downside. That is the expectation as long as we stay below yesterday's high at 1889, or actually you could say, because even if it comes a little higher, and maybe does a crazy flat pattern here or something, as long as we stay below 1913, we can focus on higher. I would actually move down relevant resistance to yesterday's high, because we have to adjust the wave count if we break it. But yeah, that's at 1889. As long as we stay below that level, the focus can remain on the downside. You can see the roadmap I have sketched out based on the Elliott Waves. I'm currently counting the move down of the high, which occurred on the 6th of May, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably, well, at the moment I'm counting it as an impulse, but I would probably move it to an ending diagonal count because it is very choppy. Diagonals are unfortunately very difficult patterns because, ending diagonals, luckily you know where they, well, you don't know where they end, but at least you have a target. Leading diagonals are even worse. Luckily we don't have a leading diagonal, we have an ending diagonal here, where you can calculate targets. At least you can get an idea where it will end by taking the length of the A wave and comparing it with the length of the C wave. At least you have some targets. However, in a diagonal, you deal with unreliable corrective subwave structures, because the subwaves are ABC. At the moment, I'm not counting it as that, but I may, depending on what happens today and maybe tomorrow, I may change the count to an ending diagonal. For anybody who's interested, how would that look like? Well, at the moment, I'm counting it as a 1-2, 1-2 setup here. And then, to be honest, that would be, that is the idea, 1-2, 1-2. But in an ending diagonal, I would actually count the entire decline here to Monday's low as an A, B, C of wave 1. This here yesterday would have been, an ABC in wave 2. That's unchanged. And we would then come down in wave 3. And that would also be an A, B, C pattern in wave 3, and then we would do the 4 and it would come down. Okay, so that's just how that works. I'm not changing the count at the moment. I leave it at the 1-2, 1-2 just because the 1-2, 1-2 is valid, and it doesn't really change much in terms of downside expectations at the moment. I just want to stop. I don't want to change counts and then change them back and everything, right? So at the moment we are following this one. Just want to make you aware that, by knowing it is probably an ending diagonal, or it could be one, that the road to the downside will be quite difficult. It will be a rocky road up and down. Expect some headwinds. It will not be a clear impulse to the downside. I can certainly promise you that, because if it was, just here looking at yesterday's move, clear downside doesn't seem to be allowed anymore. We have this, it should have ideally followed through directly yesterday in a third wave rally. That's why I'm thinking, okay, do we have here an A, B, and do we come down in the C wave? Or, alternatively, if we want to count it as an impulse, then let me first move that third wave to the side here. So then we are looking at maybe another 1-2 setup and would follow to the downside. The problem is that I don't see the move down as a very clear 5-wave move. Now I could come up with something exotic here and say, right, maybe, but then we go really into the detail and everything, and it's sort of not really useful for trading. 3 is this a 4, and any move down counts as 5. This is technically, based on Elliott Wave, a valid pattern, with a very short 1-2, a long third, a deep 4, but it's something that in practice you don't really see. So it's something that, because the wave 4 is far too deep, completely out of proportion with wave 2, it just, it's just not likely. Okay, so we take that off. But yeah, so I think we need to have, we need to be a bit flexible about the latest move here, and we need to be a bit flexible about the subwave structure count to the downside. But it shouldn't change overall downside expectations. I gave you the key pivot against which we can focus on lower. And just a reminder, if we calculate a target for the C wave, how would we do that? So yeah, we would take, obviously, off this high, which was made in April. We take the length of the A wave, we go to the high of the B wave, and also here it depends a bit, do I count the A wave as finished here or here? Doesn't make a great difference, but we sort of roughly talk about 1685 and 1477 as targets. Yeah, 1477 would actually be briefly below or just below our support area. Don't necessarily expect it to go there, but I think sort of 1685 roughly is sort of something to watch out for. Maybe a little lower. We'll see, and we can be a bit more accurate as we go along. Okay, that's my update about Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.